Oh, we got both of those finished. Now I guess I'm gonna do this radius on the outside. But you see where he put that line in there? If he was to go to that line, he would have went way under. Yeah, he only blued up the one part. That's a good 16th off, maybe 50, 60 thousandths. But anyway, according to that little sheet I made, this should be right. Now I checked this distance here. That's 1 inch 400. I made it 1 inch 410 because the guy wanted plus 10. Doesn't want minus. So this part was in the machine like that, and I measured from that ball to this surface, and it was right on the money. It was 890, I think it was. But yeah, I left a little bit on there, and then I just took a little piece of sandpaper and sanded that. Got a little tiny flat on there. That's how I was able to finally control the height of it by putting a little flat on there. You don't want to. He doesn't. I don't think he wants a point on it. I mean, this is a seat for something to fit into, and then he screws something into it. That's what these little 5 millimeter holes are for. So it's not like this is actually doing anything important. It's just holding that whatever it is inside here. It's an edge. But yeah, we'll have to take it to work and put this radius on it. Then I'm gonna let him drill those 2 holes in there. I think I did enough. All right, we'll see what happens. Yeah, this one's The other one was a roughing pass. This is more of a finishing pass, this one. Yeah, I just wanted to show you some of the wire work that we do here. We got this machine here, and this is the new one here. This is the older machine here. We're cutting these airfoils. What they do is they make these airfoils, and then we have to cut them to make sure that they're made right. Now we do this all the time. This is one of the bigger ones. So usually we have a lot smaller ones. There's some other floating around somewhere, but oh, there's one in the machine there. Yeah, we call it making bacon because when it's running, it sounds like bacon cooking. I just thought I'd throw that in there. This is the wire we use. Okay, so I brought those parts back home and I did a little sand job on them. They look pretty good. The radius came out pretty good. Of course, you know, with these, you know, the way I was holding the part, you got the step over at the bottom. I had a step over. I don't remember what it was. I think it was 20 thousandths or something. But you know, when you step it over and there's not much, see up here at the top where there's a lot of contour, the step over is the same, but it looks less because the contour, as you go like at the bottom, it's more or less like a straight wall. The step over is the same as at the top, but it looks greater because you're further away from the part because it's like a straight wall. And that's why at the bottom you get these lines in it from the step over. At the top, you really, it's a lot less noticeable. Even though it's the same amount, it's just less noticeable. So it's the same way on both of them. See, down here it's a little bit rough, and up here it's a lot finer. Of course, you know, I could have made the step over a lot smaller, but then the program would take longer to run, and I'm pretty sure that it's good enough. I never did find out what this part does. But I guess when I got the stock from the guy, he turned it in the lathe. It was square. He turned it in the lathe because if he put it in the mill, his end mill would have to be pretty long, and I guess he was afraid of it chattering, so he put it in the lathe, and that's why he got that. But it doesn't matter. It's 4 inches, you know. It's not a... But anyway, all the dimensions and everything worked out good. I left a little bit of flat on there. I didn't take it... I mean, when the guy gave me the stock, he was supposed to add 10 thousandths to it, and he put it right on the money. So it didn't leave me anything to play with. So that's why it shows a flat, because I'm trying to keep the end mill away from the edge, and the only way I got to gauge this radius is with this dimension here and the dimension on the other side over here. The height of this so when this radius comes to this point here, that's finished size. So what I did was, when I made this program, instead of running a rougher end mill on here, now we'll look at the side of it. Look at the side of it. Now this was square, and then I chopped it off. I cut this piece. This was on an angle like this, and I put a flat here, but there was still a raised portion here, and I wasn't sure how high that was. So when I made this program, it starts up here and it goes down. I started it a 1/4 inch off the edge of the part, so I didn't have to worry about the end mill coming down into the part. When I made this model, I made the model a 1/4 inch longer on each side, so that the end mill didn't stop at the very end, because that's the thing with these 3D programs and the ball end mill. It'll only contact the surface, and it won't give you any extra. So by making the model a 1/4 inch longer on each side, I was able to bring the end mill down a 1/4 inch off the part, go across the part, and then the end mill exits the part a 1/4 inch away from the part. So it didn't leave a little lip on the entrance and the exit of the tool path. I don't know if that makes any sense. But anyway, when I made this, I told it how far to stay away from the surface, the finished surface, and I told it 100,000, and that was my first pass. Then I knocked it down to 50 thousandths. That was my second pass. Then I knocked it down to 30 thousandths, and that was my third pass. And then all the time I'm doing this, I'm watching this edge here, and I'm watching the other edge so I don't violate that dimension. So then I knocked it down. Then the program went down to 20 thousandths. And then I had another program that went down to 10 and 0. Now each of these programs were all separate, so I run one at a time. So I ran the 100, the 50, the 30, the 20, and the 10. And at the 10, that's where I left it, because I didn't want to take it down to 0. Even though the program goes down to 0, I wanted to leave a witness line on here so I could gauge this part, because if I was to violate that dimension there, the whole part would be scrapped. So I'd rather leave a little extra on the part and then come back and sand it to bring it in, instead of having the machine go in there and You know, you can't tell until it makes its first cut, and by the time it makes its first cut, it could be no good. So there was no point in doing that. So I left a little extra on there, and I came back and I sanded it. Well, I knew I was going to have to sand it anyway, but you know, that way I could just kind of roll this edge a little bit, you know, sand a little more off the edge and bring that witness line a little bit thinner. So that's what I did, and so the parts are good. So all that work, I got 2 good parts. Okay, I just wanted to show that to you. Yeah, everything worked out great. I'm really happy with that. I got them all deburred. I'm gonna throw a little oil on them and then wrap them up in some paper and bring them over to the guy. And then he's gonna show his guy, and I think he'll be happy with it. All right. Talk to you later.